With the aggressive return of COVID-19, we are witnessing the disruption of normalcy in our education systems. All over the country, school board exams are postponed or cancelled. This has naturally led to widespread stress and anxiety among students, parents, and teachers. Quite naturally, possibly many of us are conditioned to believe that education is incomplete without the ritualization of exams or without standardized tests and examinations. It is also thought that without exam, our children would miss what this hyper-competitive society actually demands from them, the stamina or the willingness to face competition and to be ready to be hierarchized, graded, ranked, and quantified by some kind of standardized test and exam. Now the pandemic has disrupted this taken for granted normal notion of our education. However, the point that I wish to stress is that should it also be an occasion to ask some disturbing questions, and asking this disturbing question at this moment of turmoil. And the question is that should we continue to consider the standardized test, exams, or the ritualization of examination with its logic of grading, ranking, and hierarchizing as the ultimate substance of learning experience, as the ultimate substance of education? Or is there something more in the life of a learner than his or her ability to be quantified and measured in terms of certain exam skill? This, I believe, is a disturbing question. However, we ought to ask this question. And when we ask this question, there are three aspects that ought to be talked about, that ought to be referred to. To begin with, what is important to state, and I wish to state it quite categorically, that there is no such thing as value-neutral examinations. Even if centralized standardized tests seek to project as something value-neutral, it is not value-neutral. You need not be a philosopher with heightened politico-cultural sensibility to realize that there is actually no neutrality. A student growing up in a school in Trilokpur Islam in Delhi is not equal to a student who has been nurtured by a fancy international school in one of the metro cities in the country. Their social, cultural, and economic capital differ, even though they are required to master the same NCERT text, equate the same official curriculum with knowledge, and write the same standardized test and exams. But the fact is that it is not an equal race. And this perpetual reproduction of social inequality through the so-called neutral, value-neutral standardized tests and exams cannot be overlooked simply because occasionally we might find someone from the subaltern, say a child of a rickshaw puller or a street vendor, gets 98% in the board exams and newspapers publish her picture or the photograph. These occasional exceptions should by no means enable us to overlook the real fact of reproduction of inequality through this neutral, so-called neutral exam. And that's why the first question that ought to be asked, the way these tests and exams are conducted, is it primarily for eliminating people and declaring some as success stories and eliminate people as failures, and thereby reproducing the logic of a recklessly divided, unequal, hierarchical society? This, I believe, is the first question we must acquire the courage to ask. And then the second question that we must ask about the standardized test and examination is that it is not the real substance of education. Quite often, contrary, what happens is that it deprives that entire experience of learning of sense of joy, wonder, self-discovery, and self-exploration. Instead, all disciplines, all subjects, be it history or mathematics, physics or chemistry, are reduced into a set of exam riddles, and coaching centers and schools transform a student into a clever strategist, an exam warrior, how to give the right answer to the kind of questions that exam asks. As a result, what happens? That entire joy of learning, exploration of self-discovery and the self-learning and the unlearning that gets severely damaged and disturbed because of this one-sided emphasis on exam strategy. It's war, it's exam war, and it deprives the child of the experience of learning in one's own rhythm. Say reading a short story by Premchand or Tagore in one's own way, or for example, looking at the amazing color of the sky at the time of sunset and ask certain questions about science, about physics, or seeing mathematics in everyday life and experiencing the joy and the music of learning geometry, algebra, or mathematics. This entire joyful experience, learning according to one's own rhythm, gets disrupted and severely affected by this one-sided emphasis on exam strategy. And the third important question and the third important point that I wish to stress is that essentially these standardized tests and exams and this ritualization of exam in our education systems prepares one to accept hyper-competitiveness and social Darwinism and the logic of survival of the fittest as a way of life. It generates competitiveness. It causes heightened anxiety, psychic fear, sadomasochism, envy, jealousy, and that entire duality of success and failure, and the success of superiority and the inferiority complex. In other words, it damages the human consciousness. It is the worst form of violence that is being inflicted on the tender mind, on the children, through these standardized tests and examination. It only legitimizes a recklessly aggressive, hyper-competitive culture, and it denies empathy, reciprocity, the ability to learn with cooperation and the learn with togetherness. And this is, as a result, the worst form of violence that we cause to the mind of the child. When I speak of these three reasons why we ought to rethink the pattern of exams, and it is really the tragedy of history, it is really paradoxical that at the time of the worst form of human tragedy that we are witnessing right now, COVID-19 and the virus is all pervasive, and when death is number and statistics and the virus has entered every household and our crematoriums are overcrowded and hospitals are without oxygen and the ventilators. And at that time, as the disruption in the education system is challenged, we are forced and compelled to ask certain critical questions about our pattern of education and exam. And possibly and paradoxically, Corona is also asking us again and again that nothing matters more in life than human empathy, than endurance, than patience, the ability to live with the rhythm of life and death and to become a sensitive human being with endurance, patience, perseverance, art of relatedness, ethics of care and love. And our children need these challenges, and our education system ought to nurture those qualities rather than merely asking them to become just exam warriors and transformed into certain kind of products with measurable index. Thank you for listening.